Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Good morning. Welcome to Gashi's Kaiman TV. Rigathi Gachagua has shortened his US trip. He has decided to return back to his motherland. And he has actually apologized to his supporters, the Kenyans in USA, because he cannot be able to meet them as he had earlier planned. Ladies and gentlemen, there are a number of reasons why Rigathi Gachagua has decided to shorten his US trip. Number one is because of what I said yesterday. Remember, I was telling you that Kenyans were begging Rigathi Gachagua to come back, and for sure, he has listened to the crowd. For sure, he is a listening person. Remember, the symbol is skiza crowd, skiza watu, skiza common mwananchi. So that is a tick for him because yesterday when I said that Kenyans were begging him to return, most of you could not understand why I was saying this. Number two is because of, if you have noted, there is some friction in the opposition, especially when it comes to the by-elections. What is happening is that DCP in Malava, want to field the candidates, DAP want to field the candidates, and Rigathi Gachagua's party is saying that he's going to field candidates all over the country, irrespective of where they have supporters. And Rigathi Gachagua need now to come back and bring sanity in the opposition. Ladies and gentlemen, the return of Rigathi Gachagua is a nightmare to the government. The opposition, led by Cleophas Malala, are planning to mobilize more than 300,000 to welcome Rigathi Gachagua right from Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. This is very, very interesting. And this one reminds me of Matiba during the time of Ford, when he was in Britain. He was sick for some time. And when he came, there was a sea of humanity lining up all the way from Nairobi, Mombasa Road, all the way to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. And when he came, when he saw the multitude, nobody could be able to convince him that he was not the right person to defeat William Samoei Ruto. And, the government is very, very shrewd when it comes to playing these kind of games. And the government could use this same trick and actually mobilize Kenyans such that when Rigathi Gachagua comes, he sees that he is a king, and he feels that he's the first among equals, and he refused to give way to any other person, and therefore he ended up contesting, therefore dividing the opposition votes. But Gachagua is a wise person. He has learned from history. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the first nightmare, because that number is huge. Because you see, that huge number comes with security issues. The security guys cannot just watch and let people come together without looking at where there could be loopholes. So it is a nightmare to the security leaders. Number two, why it is a big issue to the government is because of the political mileage that is likely to give Rigathi Gachagua. I've heard some guys saying that that day that he is going to return should be set aside like a holiday. These are Kenyans for you. That be set aside because Rigathi Gachagua is coming. If you ask me, that is not the way to go. There's no need of declaring a holiday because Rigathi Gachagua is coming. But what should happen is that people should be allowed and given security to ensure or allowed to welcome their leader. Democracy should be allowed to prevail. Freedom of association, freedom of movement should be actually enhanced by the government. So it is actually a big headache to the government because of the mileage that is going to make, the perception that Rigathi Gachagua has come. And you see, when you hear people start talking about declaring public holiday, then you see the relevance of the return of Rigathi Gachagua. Again, the government would like Kenyans to forget Rigathi Gachagua. But this is one person whom Kenyans cannot forget. In fact, Rigathi Gachagua has been setting the political agenda every day. Everybody is talking about Rigathi Gachagua. Raila Amolo Odinga is talking about Rigathi Gachagua. William Samoei Ruto is talking about Rigathi Gachagua. Oscar Sudi, well, in USA, is still talking about Rigathi Gachagua. The government, the whole government machinery, including Kithure Kindiki, is talking about Rigathi Gachagua. So this is one person you cannot ignore. And once he returns, expect the political temperatures to rise. Expect the political temperatures to reach boiling point. This is why the government is worried about the return of Rigathi Gachagua. He wants to remain very, very relevant. The other thing is because of the looming by-elections. I've told you politics all about perception. How do people perceive a certain political leader? How do people perceive, how do voters perceive a certain party? For example, now, the other day, nobody knew about DCP. Everybody now is talking about DCP. And what is happening is that, unlike now, when the government would want to portray Rigathi Gachagua as a regional leader or a tribal leader, see, DCP now is entrenching itself in various parts of the country. Now with the by-elections, Gachagua is going to bring the momentum that is badly needed in the opposition for them to win. Remember, if the government is not very careful, and even the opposition, they are going to get surprises. Especially the government. The government is likely to face a nightmare when these elections or by-elections are actually, the results are announced. The government is likely to lose because Rigathi Gachagua is coming with a momentum. And what Akina Kalonzo needs to do is to continue with the momentum until the date of the by-elections. The other thing is about JKIA. JKIA is not just a landing strip. It is an international airport. This is where we have international dignitaries, visitors, tourists coming to our country. And when you see the gateway to East Africa, people assembling in huge numbers, then the image in the international community is likely to actually focus on Rigathi Gachagua. Everybody, even people who don't know Rigathi Gachagua, are likely to ask, who is this person who is returning? Is he the president? Why is this man so popular? So again, when you look at what is happening, the government is between two hard locks. Because when you look at it, USA has told the government that, look at it here, Kenya, you have been actually abducting Kenyans. You have been practicing extrajudicial killing. You have been trampling on Kenyans' rights. You have been abusing Kenyan rights. You have been denying Kenyans freedom. You have been torturing Kenyans. This is the headline, by the way. I don't know which paper is this. Is it the newspaper headline? Is it the Daily Nation newspaper headline? I think it is. So when you see this now, the government is not able to handle Rigathi Gachagua. No, remember they had told us that they wanted to arrest Rigathi Gachagua. How do they arrest him when the international cameras are now focusing on Kenya? How do they do it? Because they can only damage the international image. They can only damage the reputation as far as human rights is concerned. Remember, this government, when it comes to human rights, it is not in very good books in international circles. And everybody knows what has been happening in this country. So the return of Rigathi Gachagua is a big test to the government. The other thing is about the political shockwaves that comes with the return of Rigathi Gachagua. Once Rigathi Gachagua comes, other opposition leaders are likely now to come together. I don't know whether you have noted that since Rigathi Gachagua left, they have been drifting apart. I even saw Natabea accusing Gachagua about issues about what regionalism, what. Okay, one is free to actually say what he thinks. But you agree with me, if these guys are going to come together, Matiang'i, Maraga, Omtata, wote wakuje pamoja kumlaki Rigathi Gachagua, I am telling you, it will be very, very interesting. And this will be a sign of unity. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? That is my take. I don't know what you think, but kindly remember to like the video, subscribe if you never subscribed to this channel. Here we analyze issues as they come. We look at what is ahead or what has not happened, and in most cases, a number of our viewers like our videos. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.